I feel like I should do a meditation to open up. Um, I know I'm going to put this in the front of this video. I'm actually probably going to make this a public video for a little bit of time um, before I put it into my official teachings. Because I feel like things have come to a head and I kind of want people to know that things get better when it comes to dealing with people who are toxic, and that sometimes there is a process in dealing with people who are toxic and trying to move forward out of toxic relationships. And more specifically, I had a person in my life before who was a friend, and it has gotten to a point where this friend, I can't be their friend any longer, and I still work with them. Okay? So that's just the rundown. So I've been giving some check-ins for a lot of the students. Sorry, I don't want to show any labels. A lot of the students have been getting the check-ins up to this point. I kind of lost count because one day I know I did two because of the events that were occurring. And this, when I decided, and you know, a lot of inner work is when you make the choice, you can't go back. You know, once you decide, a lot of things, I don't want to say they fall into place, but once you make the choice, don't talk yourself out of ending a toxic relationship, reasoning, use that word loosely, reasoning your way out into staying in a toxic relationship. If it does not make you feel at peace, okay, content, bring joy, then something needs to change. And waiting around is not an option at some point in time in our lives. Okay? So I don't want to go too much into the backstory because, again, this is kind of like, it feels like a culmination. So I had a meeting today, like I mentioned in the other check-ins. It just came to me this morning. You know, I didn't really think about like having a heaviness or confused or conflict in my brain when I went to bed. I did my night routine. Actually, you know, and things actually kind of felt a little more normal. And so when I woke up this morning to, again, you know, do my morning routine, it just came to me. It was like freshness. And that's the beauty of having a spiritual practice where sometimes the things come to you, as I had mentioned earlier. The things that need to happen come, and it's clarity. So my clarity was I need to have a meeting with my bosses and this person, or about this person. And that's what I did. I didn't think too hard on it. I didn't try to say, well, maybe, you know, you really do have to decide and say, you know what, I'm going to do what it takes for my well-being. And you really do have to be mindful, though, you know, about your intentions in all of this. So, and again, if you are seeing all my check-ins and things of that nature, you will see that I am genuinely, even now, kind of still torn, but I know I need to do what's best for me. And having this meeting was what was best for me and for my parapro and my students. So it had to happen. It needed to happen. And when we went into the meeting, or let me just roll back just a second. So when I decided this morning and I knew I wanted to have this meeting, I knew I needed to email my bosses. And so I emailed them. And then when I got into work and saw, my parapro, I told her my intentions, and we started to talk a little bit. And so we started healing together, because toxic people are toxic all over the place, okay? Just know that. I think a lot of us know that, but toxic people are toxic everywhere to almost everybody. Okay. And so she was unloading a little bit and I was unloading a little bit. And I was like, we don't deserve this. The best, most adult thing to do is to go and have this meeting. And I told her, I gave her, she's new to this kind of thing, confrontation. She even said that. She's like, I'm not good at confrontations. I was like, you know what? This is not my first rodeo. Not my first rodeo in having hard conversations. I am equipped and used to having hard conversations, okay, in a mature way. That's the reason why I'm a life coach. So I was like, yeah, I'm used to having these conversations, and I know these people who we're about to have this meeting with, and I know that they will be open to hearing what we're saying. So I knew ahead of time from past experience that, what needs to happen is what needs to happen. So we went in, we talked, like I said, we talked this morning, and we had our work day, and things felt a lot better in general, just even on that level. And even, like I said, my parapro, she mentioned it. She's like, I feel so much better already. And I was like, yeah. There is, and I can talk about how talk therapy doesn't work for everybody, because it just rehashes a lot of things, and then talk therapy for others is awesome. I'm not a therapist, but I'm just saying. So some people, venting is not for everybody. Okay? That's one thing you definitely have to learn about yourself, learning to relate to people. Venting doesn't work for everybody. It does not make everybody feel better. Sometimes all it is just blowing air on the embers of the fire of the issue. And it doesn't work for everybody. Now, sometimes venting does work. And it seems like for my coworker, just knowing that she's not alone and getting an opportunity to vent a little bit this morning, and then later today in our meeting, helped her, because again, this kind of thing is new for her in the work environment. She's not experienced that kind of thing in the workplace before, especially when she, again, feeling the same thing I was feeling. So it's not like, we want anything bad to happen to this person. We don't. But at the same time, we've got to protect ourselves, right? We don't want anything bad to happen. But sometimes you got to have a breakdown to break through. And I've said this before in another video. Sometimes it's better for one person to drown than 2 or 3 or 20. Okay? And we just have to really think about the intention behind certain actions that you say, like confronting. And the reason why I'm saying that this might not be the end, because we just alerted our bosses of this situation. There might be another meeting, and I already told them I am open to having a conversation with this other person, with them as witnesses, simply because this person is so toxic that they would definitely use any information that is given to them in neutrality and twist it to gain favor with other people. That's what toxic people do. Okay, so it's just, yeah. And you have to be brave. You have to be used to having, or I don't want to say have to be used to, you have to be able to have tough conversations and regulate your emotions at the same time. And because, like I said, I have practiced doing that. Um, yes, our feelings are feelings, and I'm not saying don't feel your feelings, but in order to get what you need, you might have to practice. If you are going to do a confrontation, you're going to have to practice what you need to say, how you say it, what your intent is behind saying it. Okay? Because, yeah, as soon as those emotions go out, I know we've all been through it. The moment you just let the peak out, then the floodgates burst wide open, okay? And then the next thing you know, you're probably crying or hyperventilating or not getting everything that you need to say out. I even, because I'm so practiced in doing stuff like of this nature, I was going to consider writing some of these things down, but I knew, already. But my advice to others, if you are working on trying to resolve a situation and you are afraid that you won't get all of your information out, write it down. Nothing wrong with writing it all down, reading it if you need to, because it's intense. It can be very intense when what you think you're doing is attacking somebody and they will try to make it seem like you are attacking them. When really, you're looking to have a resolution, you're looking to have peace, and you don't want your words twisted around. Okay? That's why I said I want witnesses. I don't mind confronting this person, but I want witnesses because I don't want this person taking these words that I am going to say very direct and very bluntly, which I have said, but not by name to her because that didn't seem to work. Okay? If and when this next meeting happens, she'll have no choice but to know it is her. Okay? And we should not have to bear this burden where people weaponize victimhood. And this is what I'm talking about. When I say people weaponize victimhood, when they want people to feel so sorry for them that maybe I should just let her talk and talk it out, or maybe I should be a good friend and listen to her troubles and those kind of things. But you can let that part go. Like I already shut that part down with her. It was just that other things were still happening on a professional level where I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. I can't believe this is actually happening. So energetically, yeah, you could totally shut it down. And even, like I said, with my parapro, she was kind of expressing what could potentially happen because I'm so right down to it energetically, I can shut it down. I don't need to have a conversation with people to let them know, no, we're done. Versus someone like my parapro coworker, it sounded like that this person was trying to confront her a little bit about her neutralness that she was trying to exercise. And that does happen. Like I said, toxic people are toxic all over the place. Like they have like, so if I was coaching my uh, parapro, my coworker, I mean, she's doing all the right things. So I think she intuitively kind of just picked up on my lead to just, I'm just not going to talk socially to you right now. Or I'm going to try my best just to just keep it as business as possible and be neutral. I'm not going to, attack or anything. But she, like I said, my coworker, I need to name her too. Okay, so Karen is the one. Of course, we now, I hate to say that that's a slur now or something to that nature, but what can I call my coworker? Mary. I'll call her Mary. So Mary has been picking up on my lead and kind of energetically tried to stop associating with her. Um, and because of the Karen feeling like, oh, something's wrong. Are you okay? Why aren't you talking to me? So she tried to come at her and try to make it seem like something's wrong with Mary. When nothing's wrong with Mary, she's just like, I'm tired of hearing you complain all the time. I'm tired of hearing about other coworkers and I'm not involved. I'm I'm tired. I just want to work, enjoy my job, you know? And so a lot of us fall in those situations, right? And I even told Mary after our meeting that, you know, the pandemic has opened up a lot of people's eyes in a lot of different ways. I knew, I had that solitude. That was the jump start I needed to start breaking away from a lot of people who just continue to pull energy from me, but I was allowing it too. So it gave me the breathing space to build up my resolve and to prepare my boundaries so that when or if I need to, I'm just going to go ahead and activate. Like, there are a few people I need to exercise these boundaries with, and something, I think I mentioned it too over the summer. Something happened over the summer where I'm like, uh wow, okay, I don't know if I can be friends with you either. So, but Karen, I've said this before, I just don't have any ill will towards her. I just don't want to feel gross after associating with her. You know? It's like the energy that she's bringing is harmful in so many ways. Okay? And I just don't want to deal with it anymore. And I shouldn't have to, and neither should you. Okay? If you're looking to break up with a friend, and maybe the first step in that is to kind of energetically separate yourself, like, you don't need to confront them straight away. You really don't. Sometimes people pick up on the cues and they realize, like, oh, something's up, because, like I said, even this Karen and Mary, she's picking up on something. She's dealt enough with me over the years. She knows it's done energetically on maybe a friendship socializing level. I can, like I said, I could be professional, but as long as you could be professional, I can be professional. And yeah, so there are people who still, they do struggle with that, and I can help with that. And then if it does have to come down to a confrontation, you really have to center it around yourself. And that's kind of how all of this was able to come to play for me. Yes, we can complain about our Karen, our workplace Karen, but I know, and it seems like Mary also, again, intuitively knows, trying to go to this person and trying to be open and honest with them with what you're feeling or what they're doing, they're not going to take it well. Some people might, so that's another thing. So you can try to have a conversation. Like I said, I gave you some tips on how to maybe do that. and try to have that conversation if you choose to continue the relationship. That might not, it might not survive, quite honestly. I'm just going to be honest. When you have a meaningful, mindful confrontation with a person, and it's something that's been building over years and things like that nature, and then they act like they don't know what you're talking about, and they'll try to gaslight you and try to make you, you're just like everybody else, you're all against me, kind of thing. It's definitely going to make it worse. So just be prepared to know that might be the end. That might be it, And like I said, I've long since been okay with that being the end, because my peace is more important than trying to please other people, okay? We all should be feeling that. We all should be doing that for ourselves. Have enough self-love in yourself to know what that boundary is, and to set that boundary, and to make that boundary clear, okay? And then when they cross it again, because they will test you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you were watching any of my other videos, the check-ins, the universe will test you to say, are you really done? Are you really going to have boundaries? I want to see how far you're going to take this. Are you just going to let them walk all over you again and be like, well, they're trying? It's like, they can try without you. You don't have to be involved. They can try by themselves. You don't have to literally be the martyr. You don't have to throw yourself on the fire to prove that you're a good friend. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Okay? Even if you laid it out, and again, I've said this in another video, a person of this nature, they won't see it. They won't see it. They won't see it. No matter how much you try to have them try to see it, they will not see it. And because of that, they see what they want to see. That's again, law of attraction. And we can talk a little bit about that too, how all of this plays into the law of attraction. There is a repel, like I said, energetically, I just said, I am no longer available for this kind of interaction with you. And so she is stopped. That's, again, law of attraction. I am not receiving any of this kind of rigamaroo from this person. So again, it repels people who they realize, oh, this person has a boundary, and I don't have, maybe I could try to get in there and be like, oh, well, maybe if I just say it enough times, or maybe I just keep going, they'll just relax their boundary. And I was like, no, the universe will test you, friends, okay? Just always be ready. And when you decide, like I said at the beginning of this video, once you decide, the universe will test you. So when you decide, you got to know that it might come not just again, but it might come triple-fold at you to test you, to see, are you really for real in changing your life? Or are you just saying that and letting people walk all over you again? Okay, so this time around, I'm definitely serious, because I just don't have the energy for it. And like I said, on a professional level, I had to make some calls here and make it more clear that this person doesn't have good judgment, and that makes me very worried. So again, when you do a confrontation, you got to center around you. Don't say, oh, you do this, why do you do this? Again, that's attacking. Center it around self. So what I did was I said, I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. Basically I didn't say nervous, but these are other things you could say. I feel nervous. I don't feel confident in my work environment. I don't feel as though I can do my best because this person has been doing these things towards me. always again, you got to find ways that it's you and not somebody else, even though it had been other people. But I started the conversation in our meeting with me. And that's one thing that people can't jump into your body and say, you don't feel that. That's the key. I'm telling you, that's the key. Let me take a sip, sorry. Because people can pretend like they don't know what you're talking about, because I've had that happen before too, where I don't remember doing that. Maybe you misunderstood me or or whatever. So there were multiple situations where I'm just like, I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. I don't understand why this is happening to me. And I tried to use words. I tried to be genteel in the approach. Um, but yeah, center it around self. Okay? And of course, this person has not caught the drift at all. So when we went into our meeting, again, we have a wonderful support system. So we had an opportunity I said everything. Like, I didn't feel like I didn't leave anything out that I didn't want to say. And that's why, again, my advice to you is to write it down. Write down what you need to tell people, okay? Because you want to get it all out, and the facts, all of it. And so, yes, I was able to say everything I needed to say. My coworker, Mary, she was with me. And I think that was a great learning experience for her, too. Because like I said, this is not something that she's used to doing, confrontation, how to do it in an adult, mindful way, without it getting wild and weird, and just like next thing you know, now you're back into the situation again. You've been blackmailed into being back in there with that person, and you're just like being held hostage, you know? So again, my bosses, I believe in them. Like I said, I have history with them in a lot of different ways. So I feel as though they will approach the situation. They thanked us. That's another thing. It's like a lot of the information that I did tell them that I heard from other people, that was the first time they heard it. Now, of course, the things that happened between me and the Karen, they don't know. But if it was involving other people and other people have been a witness to this thing, and this is the first time they're hearing this, I think a lot of people think they don't want to be the rat, or they don't want to tell, or they don't want to, fall out of favor with the Karen. It's like, I don't care, okay? I want her to leave me alone. However that looks, however that happens, leave me alone, okay? And maybe that's my sun sign too, friends. When I'm ready to salt the earth, that's it, okay? When it's time to salt the earth, done. So I don't care of redeeming anything. I really don't, because she doesn't seem to know how to be in the workplace, so maybe she needs more training. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen to her, and at this point, I'm not worried about what's going to happen to her, because she's an adult. She's in her 40s. Her birthday is tomorrow. And it's also the law of attraction, where if you, and this is the Karen now, if she feels like her workplace is so horrible, she's only going to gather more horrible experiences. And if she's not appreciating the position that she's in, it can be gone just like that. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. Who knows? I don't know. She might be put on probation. Like I said, I'm surprised. I was literally the first person to say something to what she had done in the last school year. Okay? Because she nearly, if not actually, broke some laws. Okay? And like I said, I'm shocked that nobody said anything. I am shocked that nobody said a word, because I think a lot, again, people are like, well, I don't want to get involved. If you're out there, if you want, I don't know, it's like, yeah, think about your intentions, and maybe they hadn't thought deeply enough about their intentions. But my intentions was like, look, I need you to not be in my space. Okay? I need you to respect my privacy. I need you to respect my boundaries. I need you to just be professional. And yeah, just need you to be professional. If you don't know what that looks like or is like, maybe somebody else can help you, because it's not me. And I don't want to keep continuing this cycle. Okay? We all want peace, and I'm sure she does too. Okay? I'm thinking in the long run, maybe if somebody had said something to her or said something to our bosses before, maybe she could have got some help that she actually needed if she's in crisis, you know? But, you know, that's not my job, you know? And toxic people will try to make it your job to be a good friend by doing all these things. Like, and again, I see this happen a lot on the playground with young kids. It's like, if you don't do what I say, I won't be your friend. Or you're not my friend because you said no. Or you're not my friend because you're being mean to me. And what does mean mean? What is that? Oh, well, you're setting a boundary. That's being mean. Let me step all over your life, and let me step all over your feelings, and let me vomit all over you every day so I can feel better just for a little bit of time, because tomorrow I'll be back to do some more venting vomit on you. Be ready. You know? So it's just, can't do it. Can't do it. So yeah, I need to be done with this. All right. So like I said, I don't know. I would like to think that this is the end of it, but like I said, I also am willing to have a confrontation with this person with a witness. So we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely feeling a lot better. And Mary, my coworker, Parapro, also feeling a lot better. Ooh, it's a text. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know if it's um, pertaining, what it's pertaining to. Sorry. The only reason why I'm checking is because you never know. Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a few. Yeah, it's not pertaining to what we're talking about right now. Yeah. Sorry. So, energetically, you can do this work. Okay? You don't have to confront people. There's levels to this. Okay? And like I said, sometimes how far are you willing to take this? Because like I said, I was in a very complex situation where this person was my friend for a lot of years, and I do care about her, but I care more about me. Okay? That's where it comes right down to it. I got to care about me and my well-being. Okay? All right. Take care, friends. Take care. I'll leave this video up for a bit.